Warning, this is a movie review for a film that's a 15, so I'll advise that you're at least 15 years old before watching this video. And if you do watch this video, I hope you enjoy. What's up everybody, it's SWAT Jim. In today's video, let's go ahead and do the movie review for Bullet Train, which came out this year in 2022. So in this review, we'll be talking about the good for the film, then the bad, and then the verdict, what I'll rate this film out of 10. But before we talk about those stuff, I've got a few things I want to say. The first thing is I saw this film with a fellow YouTuber. He's a great friend of mine, Mike over at Digizee, and I've got his channel as well as his review of Bullet Train and his review of Bullet Train Down in the description below. In case you don't know what Bullet Train Down is, it's basically Asylum's knockoff version of Bullet Train that came out around the same time. So yeah, I've got both of those reviews in the description below as well as his channel. Go ahead and give him some love and hit the subscribe button for him, and you can tell him that Jim sent you, or Adam, because that's my real name. So yeah, I saw this film with Mike from Digizee, and it was really, really great to watch it with him. I've been waiting a while to watch a film with him, and he came to my local cinema, and you'll be seeing a picture of me and Mike now in the in front of the Bullet Train picture. So I thought that was really, really cool. It was really, really great to meet him, and it was the second time I met him, so it was really, really great to finally meet him again, and looking forward to meeting him some other times. There's one more thing before we talk about the good for this film, and that is who directed this film and the plot for Bullet Train. This film is directed by David Leitch. Sorry if I mispronounce his surname, but the plot for Bullet Train is a former professional assassin codenamed Ladybug, played by Brad Pitt, recently attending therapy, returns to work with a newly optimistic attitude. He is tasked by his handler, Maria Beetle, to accomplish a simple task: collecting a briefcase aboard the Bullet Train, traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto. Sorry if I mispronounced that as well. But now we'll go ahead and talk about the good for Bullet Train. You can also let me know what you thought of Bullet Train in the comment section below, but no spoilers, as this is an unspoiled review. If you want to include spoilers, just say spoilers before you mention anything else about the film. So for the good for this film, I want to start off with the story. The story was quite simple and nothing too original or anything, but I still really, really did enjoy the story, and I was enjoying it basically from start to finish, and I thought it was a very, very exciting story as well. And I also thought the action, even though it was very violent in the film, I still thought the action was done very, very well for the most part. The way it was done, the way it was shot was just done very, very well. Also, the choreography in this film, that was done very, very well, a lot better than I was expecting. And also, the cinematography for this film is definitely top notch here as well. I really enjoyed the direction with this film, and it has a very distinctive style that I really liked. So it made it, even though it wasn't a very unique story, it made the film feel a bit more unique, which I appreciated. I want to talk about the writing now, and I really, really did enjoy the writing for this film, especially when it came to the humour. I thought the humour most of the time definitely did land, and there were a couple of parts I did think were pretty hilarious, in my opinion, and I think that the acting here is done very, very well. You've got a lot of famous faces, and they all do brilliant jobs at the characters. I also like that Bullet Train itself was sort of like its own character, and you spend, I would say, maybe 95% of the film in the Bullet Train, which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to be the Bullet Train for that long, but it kind of makes sense considering the film's called Bullet Train. I want to also quickly mention about the characters, Lemon and Tangerine. I thought they were really, really great characters, and in my opinion, were easy to stand out of this film. And every time you saw them, they were just stealing the show because they were just really, really great. And I feel like I would have been fine with Bullet Train just being about those two because of how charismatic and how fun they were. And they were really, really great together as well. I really enjoyed the relationships with the characters and the interactions with each character, and also the music and the soundtrack for this film. I really, really did enjoy. They repeated this one particular song, but they were singing it in like three different ways, so I don't really mind that it was the same song. But I did think it was a weird song choice. But overall, I did think that this had a very good soundtrack, and the music for this film was definitely done quite well. I also want to talk about the pacing for this film. I think for the most part the pacing is done very, very well. And I also thought this film definitely there were a couple of times that it did kind of get me slightly emotionally, which is not what I was expecting for a film like this, but it was definitely a welcome inclusion for me. But that's what we're going to see for the good. I had a very great time watching this film. Now let's go ahead and talk about the bad. So for the bad for Bullet Train, it's too violent and gory, but that's one of the appeals, I suppose. Most people are going to watch it because of how violent and gory it is. But for me, it's just not really my type of thing, really. And I just thought it was just too much of it at times, in my opinion. Um, and I also thought this film was maybe 20 to 25 minutes too long. So I don't think the pacing for this film is perfect, but I still think it is done quite well. But it does get a bit ridiculous, I would say, the last half an hour, 40 minutes of the film, and I think it just got too ridiculous at the end of the film, in my opinion. And I think there are one or two too many twists and reveals in this film. I felt like they overdid it with that, in my opinion. And also, there were a couple of things even though the story was quite simplistic, there were some plots that I did find quite confusing, and it did jump at some weird times. So yeah, I did find this film a little bit confusing, even though it had a simplistic plot. And I also think that there's a lot of characters that are introduced in this film, and some of them are just wasted opportunity, in my opinion. But that's what we're going to say for the bad. But for the verdict for this film, I recommend this film to people who like Brad Pitt and for people who like action films. And I think this is a really, really great film that I highly recommend to watch. And I'd give it an 8 out of 10, which is actually the same rating that Mike gave it in his review for Bullet Train. I guess I'm giving you a spoiler there if you're planning on watching that video. I do apologise about that. But yeah, I did really, really enjoy this film. I do highly recommend it. And I'll probably watch it again. Would I buy it on DVD? Probably not, but if I find it on Sky or streaming somewhere on Netflix, I probably would watch it again. But thank you for watching this video. And if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. I really, really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers, so I really, really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, and also put notifications on so you get notified about my latest videos. And until next time, everyone, peace out, stay safe, take care, and ciao.